So I got a question for you. We know we all communicate, but do you communicate effectively? Hey, everybody. Welcome to Division 4 Live. My name is Chuck Jackson. I command the 4th Young Marine Division. And tonight I want to talk about leadership principle number 4, keep your young Marines informed. And more specifically, I want to talk about effective communications. Now, I know that there's a thing, oh, he has a gift of gab and so on like that, and that's communicating, no doubt, but that is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether or not you're an extrovert or you're an introvert. What I'm talking about is if you cannot effectively communicate, you can't lead because you won't have any influence. Building rapport with those that you are in charge over is paramount to everything. I think George Bernard Shaw said it best when he said, the single biggest problem in communication today is that you can't see my screen. There we go. Sorry about that. The biggest single problem in communication today is the illusion it has taken place. Delusion communication has taken place. My first unit I was assigned to in the Marine Corps was Elmeco, 1st FSSG. Elmeco is electronics maintenance company. We worked on anything electronic, from buffers to radios to small missile maintenance. And above the hatch was a sign that said, the key to success in battle is effective communications. And as I get older, man, that is so true. If you think about it, whenever the Marine Corps moves into a big offensive, the first thing they want to do is take out communications. Because if you can take out communications, you can take out the command element. Remember, if you cannot effectively communicate, you cannot lead. So you can take out the command element. Once you take out the command element, you can take out any control that they have exerted over their people. So communications, command, control, paramount. First, number 1, communications. So in a way, we self-sabotage ourselves because we voluntarily, either on purpose, accident, or we just don't know, take out our own communications link. Maybe UCs don't have regular staff meetings. I know when I was a UC, I'd have my squad leaders do call-outs. And I know we got email and I know we got Facebook and everything, but when I had the squad leaders do call-outs, that means that they actually had to talk to the people in their squad, and they actually knew them. Matter of fact, I remember the first time my daughter had to make call-outs when she was a squad leader, back when she was in the Young Marines. She'd go, oh, I got to call a boy? Yeah, you got to call a boy. I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. Now, there's 4 things. There's 4 things I want to show you on effective communications. First one is initiative. You got to reach out. Man, it takes initiative for a squad leader to read the plan of the day. It takes initiative for a unit commander to set up an agenda. It takes initiative and leaning in to make sure the members of that squad understand what they need for drill that coming Saturday or whenever you hold drill. It takes a lot of initiative and it takes energy. And the cool thing about doing that, the cool thing about having, if nothing else, your squad leaders making the phone calls, number 1, if you remember back to my 5 laws or 5 levels of leadership, they go from squad leader and billet level 1 to where they're building a relationship with their squad, a level 2 leader. Just by having them do phone calls, you're automatically raising their leadership lid, and they're going to the next level in leadership. And if our battalions call their UCs and the UCs are holding staff meetings, that brings the whole level of leadership up. And if it ain't growing, it's dying. And that will make your unit grow just by simple communication. Next thing you need is clarity. It takes energy to bring clarity to a situation. To take your vision, your direction, your thoughts, where you want that unit to go, or where you want that battalion to go, or even where you want that regiment to go. It takes energy, effort to make those complex thoughts and present them in a simple manner. And it isn't that people are simple. I mean, really, we're dealing, on the young Marines, we're dealing with kids from ages 8 to 18. And we'll get into patients here in a bit, but adults can be rough to communicate to also, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But if we take that clarity, like even something as simple as teaching a drill movement, drill has a lot of complex little where you heel, what you spin on, how you do, and you can create little sayings about, across the sea and so on. If you do that, then you can break down those complex movements into simple movements, and it'll set them up for success. Clarity sets your people up for success. The clearer they understand your vision, your direction, where you want to go, the more successful they're going to be at things. Patience. Oh, okay. I'd like to sit here and say I'm like 100% on all this stuff, but patience, I'm probably a good, 15, 20. Here's the problem with patience. Number one, it takes patience to communicate to people, to explain from many different angles so that they understand that they have a clear picture of where you want to go. But more importantly, it takes patience to listen, to actively listen. We're taught from an early age to listen, to respond to a test, listen to respond to a teacher's question, listen to respond to orders. It's not that listening to respond is bad, it's very good, but we're not taught to listen to understand. See, that's the second part. Listening to understand, because we can think faster than people can speak. And so while people are speaking, we're already gathering our thoughts in our mind to respond and not gathering our thoughts in our mind to understand. Doubt me, next time you have a conversation, let's say you got 5 or 10 people around a table and you're eating dinner or something and there's really an active conversation going on, check your mind for a minute. See if you aren't thinking of something to lend to the conversation while somebody's still speaking. Give me a thumbs up on that if that's ever happened to you. I could thumbs up on that all day long. Like I said, patience probably isn't my long suit, but it's something I'm working on. But as long as I'm working on it, I'm growing, right? And if I'm growing, then I'm not dying. Last thing effective communication needs is selflessness. It's selflessness to call your squad and make sure that they're set up for success as far as a squad leader. It's selfless to call a staff meeting and make sure you have an agenda ready to present to the staff to discuss different things that are moving and going on in the unit. And on the slide, it says selflessness. It's not about you, it's the message. So if you ever wonder how somebody can get up, when I get up to speak at an ALC or I've been invited to speak on a leadership topic or something like that somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's 25, 50, 100, 400 people. It really doesn't matter. There's 2 things that I do. The first one, the physiological response to nervousness. Everybody goes, oh, public speaking, I'm so nervous, is the same physiological response to being excited. So I've trained my mind to say, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. So instead of getting nervous and fearful, I get excited and pumped up to speak. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is number 4. It's not about me. It's about the message, the likes, the thumbs up, the smiles. It's about the message. Is the message on track? Am I hitting the groove? Am I adding value to people? Or am I way off track and I need to adjust fire, and figure out where I need to go with this? The Facebook Live, your likes aren't a validation of how I feel about myself. I mean, I love you all, but I could really care less. What I care about is my message hitting target? And the only way I can tell that is if I'm getting likes, if I'm getting shares, if I'm getting comments. Cool. Look at all the thumbs up, man. Awesome. Thank you, you guys. So effective communications is in 4 parts: initiative, reaching out; clarity, setting them up for success; patience, listen to understand; selflessness, it's not about you, it's about the message. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, the people that are on the broadcast right now, and the people that are going to see it on the rebroadcast. Feel free to like, share, make comments. If there's other things within the leadership realm you want me to teach on, I'm more than happy to do it. Let me know how we're doing, if we're meeting the need. Again, it's a message. I just want to add value to you. Until later, Gunny's out.